What is up, gang? I am here with my International 4366 White Stripe white cab top. So let's talk tractors, y'all. Alright, so the 4366 International. So this is another precision engineering tractor. Now, I imagine that this tractor started life as a scale models because they have a four-wheel drive out, International. And magic and witchcraft was probably worked, and you end up with this awesome thing. What we're looking at here, as far as the real one goes, these 4366, or at least the 66 series, was made from 1973 to 1976. Now, these were pretty decent-sized four-wheel drives for back then. This is 225 horsepower. And, of course, these were made in Fargo, North Dakota. That's where, you know, International does everything. And this is, like, I kind of laughed at this because I just did a video before this for my John Deere 8850, which I'll probably air before this video. That tractor was $120,000 in the mid-80s. So we have the mid-70s here represented. And this tractor costs $37,360. Now, where you get the $60, I don't know, probably this handrail. So it just kind of blew my mind to think that four-wheel drive tractor prices essentially quadrupled in price. Yeah, quadrupled in price in the course of 10 years. Now, I'm sure more technology came along as far as injection and things like that, but it still surprised me. That seems like a huge jump. So maybe one of you guys that lived through that era can tell me why. Maybe it was the economy or interest rates, or, you know, because I know interest rates went nuts back then or whatever. I don't know. But still, anyway, enough of that. So on the real one, you would have got 23.130 tires. I don't think these are particularly close to that, but these look great on here. So, in fact, I think these are probably the same as on the 8430, which the John Deere 8430, which you'll see that video possibly before this one, maybe after. I'm not sure yet where we're going to air that. So, anyway, let's take a look at the toy. So I think if there's a downside to this toy, it doesn't articulate very well. But that's okay, because it's awesome. And so it's going to sit on a shelf. It's not like I'm going to play with it anyway. But, you know, of course, you always love to see that articulation. And let me kind of shine a little more light on the subject here a little bit, if I can. And I will try to show you the articulation detail in here, because this kind of makes up for it not articulating. I mean, check that out. You've got the cylinders in here. You've got your drive shaft in there. And if you look, you can see some transmission detail, hoses and things like that. It's kind of unreal. I mean, there's a few really high-end custom guys that do this sort of thing on a 16 scale tractor. But, you know, I won't call this a production tractor because, you know, Precision Engineering doesn't put out a whole lot of tractors. But it's super impressive. I mean, that's one of the things that sort of sold me on the tractor, is just the amount of detail that they managed to pack in here. Of course, you got a filler cap up here. Yeah, your steps. You got a little texture on the steps. As I showed earlier, your handrail and your, you know, handle for your door. The engine's not particularly well detailed. You got some warning labels and things like that, but, you know, other than that, good. Decals look great. The turbo decal, the 4366, and the International decal all look fantastic. If we move up to the front of the tractor, if I can get the camera situated right, you know, nice grill and, again, decal detail there. The lights are just decals, and it's kind of to be expected. That's a complicated place to do some lighting, so if we swing around to the other side, of course, we've got cool chrome exhaust, or silver exhaust, I guess. It's not particularly chrome, but still very cool. You got hydraulic. So your main hydraulic comes up into here to feed your hydraulic bank, and then all of your hoses come back to here, and that's cool. That's one of those things that sold me too. I mean, you know, obviously custom guys do that. I mean, I've even done similar to that on some of my 64 scale customs, certainly, but even the 16 scale. But that's a really sweet detail, really well done. I like this. I mean, this is a cast piece, so I assume he's made that and then cast it. Just excellent stuff. And so, as always, as you've heard me say, like every precision engineering video I've ever done, the cab is where it's at. Check out those hydraulic levers right there, perfectly accurate. Those are so cool. I like that a lot. You've got, more your gear shift and all that up here on the dash. Again, excellent detail. The decals are spot on for the real one. And then you've even got a side lever. Ooh, I don't know if that's going to show up too well. Maybe I might turn it better towards the light. I think you can see it in there probably. Anyway. Even the seat on this one has some detail, has some cushion detail and stuff like that. I don't know if that's going to show up too well either. We're getting quite a glare, it looks like. So I apologize. Not the best cameraman in the world, certainly. But so that's kind of, that on the International 4366 by Precision Engineering 1/16 scale. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for commenting, liking, sharing, all that stuff. Check out our Shapeways store if you're interested in mainly 1/64 scale parts, but we're kind of ramping up the 16 scale. That's shapeways.com/shops/FTLOT. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.